My name is Ava, and for 18 years, I believed silence was my only language. I wore it like a second skin, a cloak of quiet that my family mistook for obedience. They didn't know I was taking notes. And when I finally spoke, my words tore their perfect world apart. My name is Ava. This is the story of the night I stopped being a ghost in my own home. Our dining table was a stage, and every meal a performance. Mom, Evelyn, held the director's baton. "Pass the salt, please, Ava," my father, Richard, mumbled, his eyes never leaving his plate. That was our longest conversation all week. So, then I told the professor, Harper chirped, that his grading matrix was fundamentally flawed. She gestured with her fork, commanding the air. "Brilliant, darling." Showing such initiative, Mom cooed, beaming. "Richard, are you listening to our daughter?" Yes. Initiative. Good. I pushed my P's into a neat line. My straight A report card was face down by my elbow, unmentioned. "What about you, Ava?" Mom finally turned to me. "Anything to contribute? Or are we just decorating the chair again?" I finished my history paper, I said softly. "Lovely. Did you check the spelling this time?" Before I could nod, Harper's boyfriend, Tyler, snorted. "Bet it's 1,000 words on the history of silence." He winked at Harper, who giggled. I saw it then, just a flash in Harper's eyes as she looked from Mom to me. It wasn't sisterly teasing. It was pure, cold resentment. Like I was a stain on her spotlight. Later, I was grabbing water when their whispers drifted from the patio door, left ajar. "It's just awkward, babe," Tyler said. "Every time. It's like she's judging us with those big, quiet eyes." Tell me about it," Harper sighed. "The family dead weight. Mom says it's just her personality, but honestly, it's exhausting to be around." The glass of water in my hand was suddenly freezing. Dead weight. Then came my 18th birthday dinner. The air was thick with Harper's excited energy. "Mom, Dad, Tyler, and I have an announcement," she burst out before the cake even arrived. "You're pregnant." Mom gasped, half horrified, half thrilled. "No. Better." Harper flashed a diamond ring. "We're engaged." The table erupted. Mom squealed, jumping up to hug her. Even Dad offered a limp handshake to Tyler. Champagne was poured. My birthday candles sat, unlit. "Congratulations, honey," I said, the expected script. "Thanks, Ava," Harper said, but her eyes were already back on Mom. "Speaking of the quiet one," Tyler said, a smirk playing on his lips. He reached under his chair and pulled out a gaudily wrapped gift. "For the birthday girl. Had to special order it." I took it, feeling all their eyes. I tore the paper. The title glared up at me, "The Power of Speaking Up for Dummies." A beat of silence. Then Tyler exploded in laughter. Harper joined in, hiding her mouth behind her hand. Mom let out a light, tinkling laugh. "Oh, Tyler, you're terrible," she said, wiping a non-existent tear. "But it is rather fitting, isn't it, Ava? Maybe you'll learn a thing or two." Dad just stared at his napkin. I felt a smile stretch across my face, the old, familiar mask. It felt brittle. "Thanks, Tyler," I heard myself say. How thoughtful. But inside, a shard of ice formed, sharp and clear. I looked at each of them, Mom, who legitimized the cruelty, Harper, who fed on it, Tyler, its delivery boy, Dad, who allowed it. Their laughter was the key, turning in a lock deep within me. The last warm, hoping part of my heart for them frosted over and went dark. I held the stupid book and smiled. Let them think my silence was weakness. It wasn't. It was observation. And in that moment, with their cruel laughter as evidence, the case against them was closed. I had all I needed. After the birthday dinner, I perfected my ghost routine. I moved through the house, a silent spectator. My old phone, tucked in a vase on the living room shelf, recorded everything. The first crack splintered through a closed kitchen door. "It's not fair, Mom." Harper's voice was a sharp hiss. "You're talking about her college fund like it's sacred. She'll just go to some library and waste it on poetry books." "Harper, lower your voice," Mom said, but there was no real heat in it. Why? She's probably got her headphones on. Tyler and I found the perfect condo. The down payment is almost the exact amount of that fund. It's practically a sign. There was a long pause. I held my breath. Mom's sigh wasn't one of refusal. It was a sigh of negotiation. It's complicated, sweetheart. Your father's name is on that account too. We'd have to manage him. So manage him. You always do. Ava doesn't need it. I deserve it. My blood turned to ice, crystallizing in my veins. My future was a bargaining chip for Harper's condo. The second crack came from my father. I found him in his study, staring at a blank computer screen, a man hollowed out. Dad. He flinched, as if surprised anyone could see him. Ava. Do you need something? I stepped inside, the courage brittle in my throat. Do you ever see me? He turned. For the first time in years, he really looked at me. His eyes, so like mine, welled up instantly. Every day, he whispered, his voice cracking. Then why don't you ever say anything? A tear tracked down his cheek. You look just like her. More every day. My sister, Clara. I knew her only from a single, faded photo. A smiling woman, gone before I was born. Your mother, he swallowed hard, looking toward the door in fear. Clara was my best friend. My rock. When she died, your mother saw a grief she couldn't compete with. Then you were born, and you had her eyes, her smile. Evelyn has never forgiven me for that. For loving her. For seeing her in you. The air left my lungs. My entire life, the coldness, the neglect, it was a punishment for a ghost. For a love my father dared to have before her. The final, devastating crack shattered me. Harper's charger. Mine broke, and I needed to print a paper. I slipped into her room, a lion's den of perfume and entitlement. It wasn't in the usual spot. I pulled open her bottom desk drawer, and a folder slid out, spilling papers. Not schoolwork. Printed emails. To Admissions Officer, State University. Ava Mitchell application. I'm writing to withdraw my sister's application. She's decided to take a gap year due to mental health concerns. To Scholarship Committee. My sister's academic record is unfortunately inflated. My hands trembled. I shuffled the pages. And then I saw the creamy stationery, the looping handwriting that wasn't Tyler's. My dearest Harper. Every moment with you is stolen sunshine. I know the risk, but when you touch my hand at book club, the world falls away. I dream of the day we don't have to hide. All my love, always. Laura. Laura. Mom's best friend. The one who brought over casseroles and called us her chosen nieces. The betrayal was a physical blow to my chest. I staggered back, the papers clutched to me. Sabotage. Theft. And this secret that would detonate my mother's perfect world. Silent tears streamed down my face, the only sound in the room. No more. The observer had seen enough. The evidence was no longer just heard, it was in my hands, cold and undeniable. My grief hardened, sharpening into a blade. Now, I had to learn how to use it. I didn't explode. I planned. At the library, I made copies of everything. The emails, Laura's letters, my notes on the college fund conversation. I packed a single bag of essentials when the house was empty. My only friend, Chloe, answered her door. Ava. What's wrong? I need a place. Just for a little while. Her eyes widened, but she pulled me inside. Mom. Her mother, Grace, came from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a dish towel. She took one look at my face, my bag, and opened her arms. You're always welcome here, sweetheart. Their home smelled like oregano and laundry soap. There was laughter from the TV, a pile of mail on the table, a lived-in warmth that felt like a physical shock. I stood in the middle of it, trembling. Thank you, I whispered, and the dam behind my eyes threatened to break. But I couldn't crumble yet. From the safety of Chloe's guest room, I sent the first wave. I scanned Laura's most incriminating letter. I created a new email address and attached it, sending it to Tyler with a single line, ask her about Laura. The fallout was instantaneous. My phone, still connected to the home Wi-Fi via an app, blew up with notifications. Harper, what did you do? Harper, Tyler left Emmy. Answer me. Harper, you've ruined everything. I watched, my heart a stone. From Chloe's social media, I saw the cascade, Tyler's angry posts. Harper's desperate, deleted replies. The perfect engagement, vaporized. Then, I texted my parents. Meet me at the Daily Grind Cafe. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. It's important. Mom replied instantly, this is highly inconvenient, Ava. Is this about your little disappearing act? Dad, okay. They were already seated, a coffee untouched between them, when I arrived. Mom's smile was thin, strained. There you are. This dramatics is beneath you. Grace called me, you know. Very embarrassing. Saturday. I said nothing. I placed my bag on the table. Well? Mom prompted, exasperated. I slid 2 sheets of paper across the smooth wood. The first, my transcribed notes of her and Harper discussing my college fund. The second, the faded photo of Aunt Clara from my wallet. Mom's face went pale, then flushed. What is this? Snooping? Fiction. But Dad picked up the photo. His hands shook. He looked from Clara's smile to my face, and a ragged sob broke from him. Oh, Ava. Explain, I said, my voice quieter than a breath. Dad crumpled, his head in his hands. She couldn't stand it. That I loved someone before her. That you were a living reminder. Every time she was cruel to you, it was like she was punishing me. I was too weak. I'm so sorry. Richard, shut up. Mom hissed, her mask shattering into pure, defensive rage. She turned her venom on me. You ungrateful little spy. After all I've sacrificed to keep this family together, you have no idea the pressures. I have every idea. My voice cut through hers, steady and low, each word a brick I'd carried for 18 years. The pressure to be invisible. To fund Harper's life with my future. To be a constant disappointment for a crime I didn't commit. I looked directly at her. My silence was never weakness. It was observation. I have Harper's emails withdrawing my college applications. I have the love letters from your best friend to your daughter. Her breath caught, a sharp, horrified gasp. You are a tenant in my life now, I said, standing. The power was a cold, clear river inside me. And your lease is up. I turned and walked out. I didn't look back at the rubble. I walked into the sunlight, and for the first time, the air didn't feel like ice. It felt like possibility. Karma isn't something you deliver. It's a natural force. I just removed the dam holding it back. The fallout wasn't my circus, but I heard the echoes of the explosion. Chloe kept me updated, her voice a mix of horror and grim satisfaction. Harper's been dropped from the sorority board, she said one afternoon, scrolling her phone. Comments are turned off on all her posts. It's a ghost town. Laura's husband found the letters. The scandal ripped through Mom's book club, her charity committee, her perfectly curated world. The whispers were relentless. I heard she'd stopped leaving the house. My father called me, his voice clearer than it had ever been. I filed for divorce, Ava. I used your courage as my own. I'm seeing someone. A therapist. I'm glad, Dad. Can we have lunch sometime? Just us. Yes, I said. I'd like that. Mom's approach was different. Desperate. Isolated, she tried to love bomb me. Mom, Ava, darling, we need to talk. I've been doing a lot of reflection. My behavior was a product of my own unhealed trauma. Mom, you have to understand the pressure I was under to keep up appearances for you girls. Mom, I miss you. You're my daughter. We can heal this. They weren't apologies. They were lists of excuses, wrapped in pretty words. I didn't block her. I wanted her to see the read receipts. To each message, I typed the same 3 words, I'm observing. The silence from her end after each reply was a quiet, profound victory. With Grace's fierce advocacy, she called it being a mama bear for rent, we met with the bank and my dad. My college fund was secured, transferred into an account only I controlled. I used a sliver of it for a deposit on a tiny studio apartment. My first home. The climax wasn't a scream. It was a whisper, months later. I was packing a box with books when a knock came. Harper stood there, hollow-eyed, her usual glow extinguished. She looked like a stranger. Ava. I didn't invite her in. Harper. She shifted, wrapping her arms around herself. He's marrying someone else. Tyler. It's in the paper. I said nothing. Laura's getting divorced. Mom's a mess. She looked past me into my small, quiet space. Her gaze finally landed on me, not with anger, but with a bewildered exhaustion. How did you stay so quiet? All those years. How? I looked at my sister, this architect of my pain. The old hurt was there, but it was a scar now, not a wound. Because I was listening, I said, my voice calm in the afternoon light. And you all told me everything I needed to know. I saw the understanding dawn in her eyes, followed by a flood of shame. She had no retort. No defense. She just nodded, once, and turned away. I closed the door. Gently. Finally. That night, I sat on the floor of my studio, surrounded by half-packed boxes. The silence here was different. It wasn't the heavy, expectant silence of my mother's house. This wasn't a cage. This was a wide-open field. It was mine. I wasn't hiding in it anymore. I was breathing it in. I was living in it. And for the first time, the voice in my head, the one that narrated every moment, every observation, it wasn't filled with their criticism, their dismissal, their noise. It was kind. It was strong. It was finally, completely, my own.